Death Road is said to take hundreds of lives every year. The people of Yungas live their lives on that road. The Uru people maintain their lives on reed islands floating on a lake. Through them, I witnessed the strong spirit of Bolivians. Now I'm headed past eastern Bolivia through a jungle where marvelous terrains unfold. To La Paz, the central city of western Bolivia, where traditional Indio life continues. A special journey across eastern and western Bolivia begins. Bolivia. Just from its name alone, Bolivia has become a friendly and intimate country to me. With connections in Los Angeles in the US and in Lima in Peru, the trip takes 36 hours by plane. I arrived in Bolivia, located in the heart of South America. Today, unlike the western part of the country, which is represented by the Andes, I head to Santa Cruz, the central city of the Eastern Plains. Seeing low-rise buildings on a wide plain, my first impression of Santa Cruz was that it seemed very laid back and open. The surroundings change as we drive away from the center. There are numerous vehicles filled with passengers, and there's a long line of people. I thought the building with the double-stacked walls would contain something great, so I stand at the end of the line. Surprisingly, it turned out to be a prison.
여기 빨마솔라 교도소라고 이 산타크루즈 지역에만 있는 굉장히 독특한 교도소라고 해서 한번 좀 기다려보고 있습니다.
Palmasola Prison, which consists of 4 prisons, houses about 5,000 inmates. It takes in about 300 new inmates every year and is the largest prison in Bolivia. The high walls, reinforced with barbed wire, seem to show the strict atmosphere of the prison. It doesn't look very different from other prisons. However, after entering through the main doors, the inside of the prison seems like another travel destination. Things unimaginable, from billiard tables to restaurants and internet cafes, fill the prison. It seems to be no different from the outside world.
지금 보시는 데가 교도소 아니에요. 와, 진짜 이게 말이 안 나오네요. 모든 삶이 다 있어요. 이 안에 교도소 아닌데 이쪽으로 한번 가볼게요. 와. 아, 올라.
There are no prison uniforms, so you can't easily distinguish between the prisoners from the visitors. There is one way to tell them apart. This person is able to recognize us in the same way.
믿기지 않는데 이 교도소 아니라는 게 참 대단하네요. 아, 아, 요게 그러니까 일반인들은 이 도장이 있어야만 이 안을 들어올 수 있는데요. 이게 만약 지워지면은 저도 수감자가서 못 나가는 거예요. 그러니까 이게 지금 들어올 때 찍어주는데 절대 지워지면 안 되는 거죠. 그러니까 이 표시가 있어야만 또 일반인들이 출입을 할 수가 있고. 그러니까 저한테 지금 생명과도 같은 도장이죠.
On one side of the prison, there is a massive amount of laundry hanging next to a wall. I wondered who did all this laundry. I find out it was all done by the inmates. Only a few inmates wash all of the inmates' laundry. It seems like tiring work, but there is a reason why they have bright expressions.
¿Usted lava solamente su ropa o de todo?
Lavamos aquí nuestra ropa y también la ropa de los internos, pero eso ya mayor es eso. Y de eso, digamos, nos ganamos nuestros quitos para comprarnos y para pagar, digamos, y comprarnos ropa.
The inmates work just like normal people would in the outside world in order to adapt into society. Committing a crime gets their freedom taken away, but everything is designed to help them return to society. There is another prison system that goes one step beyond the usual closed form. Family members can rent a house in the prison and live with the inmate until the sentence is over. This is Castro's fourth month of serving his sentence. His wife, 6-year-old daughter, Ivana, along with his 7-month-old daughter, live with him.
Uno irse, ¿no? Está con su familia, uno se desespera estar en una cárcel.
Me queda acá.
¿Se queda?
Alquilar un cuarto.
Ah, usted no fue afuera.
Salgo afuera a comprar unas cosas y otras. Y vuelta de regreso.
Thanks to this system, the children do not have to live apart from their father.
Vivir con él se siente uno más tranquilo, más acompañado con él.
There are about 700 children living with their parents in Palmasola prison. Inmates who do not have families live in groups.
이 안에 숙소도 있거든요.
Just like a school or company dormitory, there are single beds inside.
쉬고 계신 분들도 계시고요. 홀라. 네, 그러니까 여기 말로는 파빌리옹이라고 부르는데요. 이 교도소 안에 한 32개 정도의 구역이 있는데 여기가 19번째 구역이라고 하시거든요.
The prison provides a basic space and facilities for living spaces, and the inmates themselves fill the rest of the necessities. Crispin has lived here in Palmasola prison for 8 years. He is famous for his handiwork here at Palmasola.
Disculpe, ¿usted también lo hizo esa lámpara?
Sí, yo es.
In the future, he wants to work as an architect. He is a model inmate who dreams of his life after release, but he told us he committed many crimes outside of the prison.
Mi nombre es Crispín Salazar Pérez. Estoy acá 8 años, son 4 acusaciones que tengo. Secuestro, violación, tráfico de estupefacientes, tráfico de armas y asesinato.
There were times when it was difficult for him to live a normal life due to drugs, but now he is preparing to return to society as a normal person. One of the greatest sources of happiness for the inmates at Palmasola prison is to live in a world where there is no prejudice or surveillance. And in order to not lose this happiness, they repent deeply for their past and make themselves new.
Porque uno busca una forma, aparte de ser una terapia, un trabajo, y puede sobrevivir y así cubrir con el tiempo que le han establecido a uno para estar en la detención, ¿no? No he estado yo en otras cárceles, ¿no? Pero tengo entendido de que es un poquito más privacidad hay en las otras cárceles, ¿no? Donde para uno entre rejas. Entonces eso no es una terapia.
Visiting hours are over, and we go back outside. As soon as we step out, there are children who erase the stamp on my arm. It's like a part-time job.
정말 지워지니? 예, 지운데 여기 돈은 우리 돈은 한 300원 정도 지금 받는 것 같아요. 안에선 지워지면 절대 안 되는데 밖이라서.
I thought it would not come off well since it's special ink, but they do a good job.
Gracias. Dos. Gracias.
The inmates of Palmasola prison are filled with autonomy and hope rather than suppression and surveillance. Remembering the world they dream of outside the walls, I head to my next destination in Santa Cruz. Many people often think of the Andes Mountains, where they think about Bolivia. However, the world's largest tropical rainforest, the Amazon, exists here in Santa Cruz. It is said that over 30 different tribes lived in Santa Cruz in the past. I come to the village of the Yuqui tribe, which now only has about 200 members left. A resident is burning the land that was once filled with trees. Why are they burning the land?
Bueno, para quemar estos chuchillos para que no se queden feos en el resto.
It's a slash and burn farming method, similar to what the Koreans did in mountainous areas long ago. The Yuqui tribe burns the jungle filled with trees to make a field. They use what's left as fertilizer to plant rice or banana trees. The traditional Indio way of life that relied on hunting and gathering for survival rather than farming is difficult to find now.
Casa.
¿Cuántos hijos tiene?
8.
8명이요. 애기들 너무 이쁘게 생겼다. 딸들이 되게 이쁜데요.
Rather than living a nomadic life in the jungle, their decision to settle is engraved like a symbol on this cocoa tree.
Los chicos le han puesto su nombre, cada uno. Sí.
Ever since his firstborn, Jose, has been carving the names of his children on these fruits. His oldest son, Raul, comes out with a bow and arrow from the house. He is going to show us how he protects himself from wild animals and how he hunts in the jungle. He hits a bullseye. 10 years ago, when human contact was rare, they shot at humans as well.
뚜뚜마. 보시면 알겠지만 이게 그냥 이게 지금 땅에 꽂힌 것도 잘 안 뽑힐 정도로 이게 그냥 한 번에 그냥 쑥 들어가면 그냥 이거 맞으면 관통이죠. 그리고 이게 또 와 진짜 날카로워요. 날카롭고 보면 여기에 돌기처럼 이렇게 막 그냥 단순히 일자가 아니라 이렇게 막 돼 있어서 타격이 훨씬 더 클 것 같아요. 이게 보통 예전에 그 동물 사냥할 때 쓰던 활이라고 하거든요. 그러니까
Esto es de tembe. Y esto es flor de chuchillo. Ese árbol que ves allá, son larguitos, ¿no ves? Ese.
I become a warrior of the Amazon jungle and learn how to shoot an arrow. Everyone watches as they hold their breaths. Darn, I can't even shoot it.
Esto suelta. Ahí nomás. Esto nomás. De aquí. ¿Ves?
잠시만요. 저 지금 물렸어요.
I want to learn properly, but something is bothering us by biting the bottoms of our feet.
Bien fregado, Harto sale, mira. Hormiga.
These are poisonous ants of the Amazon.
지금 개미들. 뜨거. 잠깐만요. 되게 땡깁니다. 얘네. 여기 털어요.
The poison from these ants was used as medicine long ago.
Cuando alguien tiene hay que hacer picar en la piel.
진짜요? 그럼 좋은 거예요?
Humans and nature still coexist in the Bolivian Amazon.
Gracias. Adiós.
These people adapted to the changes in life, but didn't forget their traditions. It was a positive change. The Amazon takes up most of the land in Bolivia. This place is a small park in Santa Cruz that holds the primitive nature of the Amazon.
이 소리 너무 우렁찬데요? 새가 내는 소리가 맞나 싶네요.
As soon as I pass the entrance and enter the garden, I see many types of birds. There's even a cute-looking parrot. I pet it out of delight, but it flies away.
새들이 내는 소리가 맞았네요. 그 소리가. 소리가 워낙 커서 원숭이 소리인 줄 알았는데 새가 내는 소리구나.
Bolivia has 1,448 different types of birds, including parrots, herons, and peacocks. It is the 5th country in the world with the most birds. I hear the birds here have some talents.
올라! 관심을 보이긴 하는데. 올라! 올라! 앵무새들이 여기 말로 올라 안녕하세요 하면은 따라한대요. 따라 해줄지 모르겠네. 올라! 반응이 없네. 올라! 올라! 올라!
Will he respond this time?
여기는 막 둘이 막 인고 부부라고 해야 될 정도로.
A pair of lovebirds attached to the hip provokes me, a single man without a girlfriend. Then there's a bird that sees me and avoids me.
가지마, 가지마, 가지마. 비둘기가 왜 걸어다녀? 다친 거 아니지? 다쳤어? 잠깐만, 한 번만 만져보면 안 돼?
I leave Bolivia's lowlands, namely Santa Cruz, behind me and head towards the city embraced by the Andean Plateau, La Paz. La Paz, which is 3,600 meters above sea level, is Bolivia's capital city, located in the highest place among all the capitals in the world. La Paz is known as the city in the air. There is not much flatlands, so the buildings are narrow and built high. There are currently about 1.5 million people in La Paz. The city was first built about 500 years ago. What did this land look like back then? They say there's a place I can go to find out, so I decide to go. The lay of the land from the entrance is out of the ordinary. In order to enter, you have to pay an entrance fee.
Hola. Cuatro entrada.
60 bolivianos.
I'm looking forward to see what kind of landscape awaits me. In Spanish, it's called Valle de la Luna. It's said to look like the surface of the moon, thus its name. Just like on the moon, no signs of life can be seen in the valley. However, looking down at the Valley of the Moon from high up was marvelous despite the fact that it doesn't support any life. Perhaps it's more mysterious and more beautiful because it's so desolate. Is this what La Paz looked like in the beginning?
달에 가본 적은 없는데 정말 달 위를 걷고 있는 느낌이 드네요. 사람이 아무리 정교하게 뭘 깎는다 해도 이런 모습을 낼 수는 없을 거 아니에요. 천재의 건축가가 이런 뭐 디자인을 하고 뭐 정말 공상가들이 다 모인다고 해도 이런 모습을 그려내기 쉽지 않을 것 같아요.
I continue to head higher to the peak of the Valley of the Moon. There is a peak that stands alone.
와, 지금 이 달의 계곡 중간에 가장 높은 곳에 솟은 바위 하나가 우뚝 솟아 있는데 마치 파수꾼처럼 여기를 내려다보고 있거든요. 어떻게 저런 모양이 생겼을까 모르겠네요. 혼자만 우뚝 솟은. 그리고 머리에는 선인장이 막 자라고 있네요.
How did this natural rock form without any help from man? Just then, I see people waving at me cheerfully. It's easy to make friends with other travelers when you're traveling. Sometimes you can learn from their wisdom.
It was built due to a lake that was here.
Due to a lake?
Yeah, it was an ancient lake.
It's very, you can crumble it in your hands like this.
Great, yeah.
So you know that it's very, very small grain size.
This strata is made of soil, not rocks. The terrain around the lake piled up for millions of years, and then they were exposed over ground, just as they were about to transform into high mountain ridges. The natural form of the valley was then created by erosion from water and winds. The topography of the city of La Paz, located only 20 minutes from here, has a 1,000-meter difference between the lowest and highest points for those same reasons. Putting the Valley of the Moon behind me, I head to the highest town in La Paz, measuring 4,000 meters above sea level. It becomes difficult to breathe, even from making small movements, but you can get rewarded for the work you put in through a special attraction.
여기 레슬링 선수들 사진 막 붙어 있는데요.
But all of the wrestlers are women.
여기 지금 촐리타라고 불리우는 그 전통 복장을 입으신 여자분들께서 레슬링을 하는 곳이래요. 그 상상만 해도 너무 재밌을 것 같아가지고 일단 한번 가보려고요.
The names and photos of the wrestlers are displayed at the entrance of the gym, which holds matches every weekend. Before a match, the wrestler excites the audience. Every wrestling match has a villain. This wrestler is today's villain. The good wrestler appears, and the match begins. But as soon as the match starts, the evil wrestler attacks the good wrestler. The booing from the audience doesn't stop her from her unprovoked assault or even cheating. When the anger level of the audience reaches its limit, the good wrestler starts to fight back. Cholita wrestling seems like any other form of wrestling, with the good defeating the evil, but native Bolivian women wrestle dressed in traditional clothing. And it attracts much attention from the fact that the matches are held in the highlands, where one would quickly run out of breath. After the match, I head to El Alto Market. It is another place where I am able to observe the lives of the people living in the highlands.
계속 그 자연 풍광 막 이런 것만 보다가 이런 그 서민들이라 그럴까요? 그런 분들의 이런 일상생활을 보니까 또 재밌네요.
El Alto, which is considered to be one of the highest places humans can live, still maintains its traditions regarding its geological factor.
¿Qué es esto?
Son cositos para ponerse.
Para mujeres.
Sí, para mujeres.
이게 원래 여자용 모자인데 이뻐서 제가 한번 써보려고요. 어떻게 쓰면 되나? 이렇게 앞뒤가 없나? 너무 작은데요? 어떡하지? 따다워서요. 안 들어가요.
En esta formita.
만드는 것도 신기한데 그 애기를 안에다 넣고서 깨지 않게 조심조심하게 이렇게 하신 것도 되게 좋은데요. Gracias. Ciao.
While walking around the market, something keeps catching my eye. They're dried baby llamas. It's considered a good luck charm.
Para maldiciones, hay para negocio, para trabajo, para todo hay.
The traditional market is filled with things used among the people in the Andes region in Bolivia. This rock-like object is one of them.
¿No hay piedra?
No. Este es greda, mira. Es rico de sabor, se come.
진흙처럼 이렇게 뽀개져요.
A ver, pruébalo, tiene
예,
sabor.
마치 진흙. 근데 이게 진흙 같은데 먹어도 되는 건가? 한번 먹어볼까요?
The taste of mud spreads into my mouth.
진흙 같은데요? 진흙 맛이 나요 정말로. 이 진흙 아닌가?
People who considered the Andes land sacred ate this rock as medicine. If the top of La Paz, El Alto, is centered around the lives of the Bolivians who live the simple lives of Indios, the central area in the lowlands is a bit fancier. San Francisco Plaza has the largest area in La Paz, where there is a lack of flatland. It serves as a milepost for travelers who come to La Paz. The largest building in La Paz stands in the center of the plaza. It is this cathedral. It is a witness of La Paz's history.
Esta es la iglesia más antigua de La Paz. Es de casi de los años 1500. O sea, ha sido creado, ha sido construido en la época colonial.
Mass is starting in the cathedral just as I arrive. But today's Mass has more people and is grander than usual. All of the Catholics have small dolls in their hands. They are miniature models of Jesus, shepherds, or other characters in the Bible. The interesting thing is everyone gathers in front of the priest with the dolls. It's in order to get blessed. This tradition began way before this cathedral was built by a person named Iquico, who was only 1 meter tall. During the big famine in Bolivia, he devoted everything he had in order to save the people. Since then, he's been considered the god of abundance, and the small models have been used as good luck charms.
Es una costumbre que tenemos a hacerle escuchar misa, es como si le estuviéramos adorando de esa forma.
There is a large tree standing in the front of the plaza. The Mass at the cathedral and the excited expressions of the people are all for Christmas. But December in Bolivia is in the middle of summer, I'm anticipating a different kind of Christmas.
지금 여기가 온도가 17도 정도 된다고 하거든요. 그러니까 한여름의 크리스마스. 지금 막 날씨 되게 맑고 사람들 복장도 가벼운데 보시다시피 다 지금 크리스마스 분위기예요.
It's not a white Christmas like it would be in Korea, but the atmosphere of the holiday is the same.
So cute, so cute. Can you hold on? Okay. Okay, gracias. 너무 작아요. 인형 같아 진짜 인형.
Everyone shares their blessings with their loved ones.
너무 귀여워. Hola, hola. Okay.
I share the moment with them.
Gracias. Korea del Sur. Yeah.
Now that I look at it, the material of the tree in the plaza is very unique. The tree is environmentally friendly and is made with recyclable plastic bottles instead of wood. It measures 10 meters high. It's a one-of-a-kind tree in the world. As I stand under the darkening La Paz sky, a special light that brightens the darkness more brightly than the tree can be seen. It's the night view of La Paz that becomes a giant tree in itself. It's like a gift the people of La Paz had prepared for me.
그 산속에 박힌 그 보석처럼 마을 그 집들이 박혀 있는 것 같아요. 너무 아름답고 제 인생에 있어서 한국 이외의 크리스마스를 보낸 적이 처음인 것 같기도 해요. 정확하게 기억은 안 나는데 잊지 못할 크리스마스가 될 것 같네요.
While I was making a wish, Santa appears before me.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
It feels like all my wishes will come true tonight. There's only one thing that crosses my mind at this moment. I am glad I came to Bolivia, as it gave me so many gifts.